What is going on, YouTube? So coming back today with my bold predictions for the 2016 NFL season and what in my opinion will be actually the most fun video to do in my set of NFL previews for the 2016 season. So about halfway through this series now, maybe a little bit more, and I'm not going to do honorable mentions or anything for this. I'm just going to go into my 10 predictions. All 10 bold predictions will be in the description below. And also, they are underway right now. I am currently working on doing all 32 NFL previews. I have now posted a few that were not in the videos. I have now done the Oakland Raiders and Indianapolis Colts, and look for 3 more individual previews coming today on my website. The link to that will be in the description below, as well as my Twitter and Instagram. Go check those out as well. So let's jump right into it. Start with the first one, and I'm going to say Philadelphia. Now, keep in mind, most of these are not my actual predictions. These are just bold predictions that I could see happening. So first one, the Philadelphia Eagles will win the NFC East. Now, it's not really bold to say any NFC East team will win the NFC East. You know, the NFC East is probably the most unpredictable division in football. Year in and year out. You just don't know. It seems like it's close always. You know, the Redskins won last year, deservedly so, but it was close for the entire season. You know, at the beginning of the season, no one thought the Redskins were actually going to do it. So, again, Eagles in a similar situation. See what happens. So, next one, which involves a little bit of news today. If you were watching the news, you know that Josh Gordon has been reinstated into the NFL, is currently with the Cleveland Browns, and will be suspended for the first 4 games of the season. But I say after he gets back, the RG3 to Josh Gordon combo will be one of the best to watch in the NFL this year. Next one, again involving the Washington Redskins. Kirk Cousins gets benched. So he got his big extension. You know, I'm not going to say he's a bad quarterback, but who knows? Maybe last year was a fluke. We don't know. It's hard to operate off 1 year after you've struggled for a few other years in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. Again. Next one, Buffalo Bills challenge the Pats for the NFC East crown. Now, I really think the Buffalo Bills are a dramatically improved team for this year. You know, it's hard to tell who they're going to go with at quarterback. Cardale Jones has been getting some looks, but Tyrod Taylor is probably going to start the year. But again, Tyrod Taylor showed he was a little bit injury prone last year, so we'll see what happens with that. He's a dual threat quarterback. That's what can happen. But again, with Tom Brady gone for the first 4 games, I believe that's an opportunity for the Bills to steal a game from the Patriots and maybe make a run at it. So next one, Doug Martin rushes for less than 800 yards. So Doug Martin, a guy that I wouldn't say broke out last year, but kind of re-broke out, kind of had a second coming out party. And, you know, it seemed like a weird time for it. It's hard to tell if he's going to be consistent or not. He's been considered a top 10 running back in a lot of fantasy football rankings, almost every single one of them. And you know what? I think that the Buccaneers are going to make a little bit more of a transition to the passing game next year with another year of Jameis Winston in the NFL. They still have a very talented receiving corps. So, again, it's something that I don't exactly think it's going to happen, but, again, watch out for it. Next one, Eddy Lacy is the most improved player, so he took off some weight. Had a pretty poor season last year. Either way, I expect improvement out of Eddy Lacy, whether it's that dramatic to be the most improved player in the league or not. So, next one, the Jacksonville Jaguars have a top 3 defense in the NFL this year. So, very few teams improved as much as the Jacksonville Jaguars in the offseason, adding so much talent through the draft and through free agency. You know, adding Jalen Ramsey, Miles Jack, getting Dante Fowler back, adding in Malik Jackson. There are a lot of moves that could help this defense be a very, very good one. Next one, the Carolina Panthers do not win the NFC South. So if you are a Panthers fan or have been one for a very long time, then you know that their success is not consistent. It comes in spurts. You know, every time you look at it, from the Panthers making the playoffs, what was it, 2 years ago? Or actually might be 3 years ago to this point. We're not very good the season after that. And then even going as far back as when they made the Super Bowl, 12, 13 years ago, which was their biggest spurt of success until Cam Newton came around in 2010. And again, they weren't very good after that one either. So, wouldn't surprise me too much as a guy that grew up in and around that region of fans. So, next one, Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott are the top 2 running backs by the end of the year, or are considered the top 2 running backs heading into the beginning of next season. This one really wouldn't surprise me at all. With Ezekiel Elliott running behind that good of an offensive line, and with Todd Gurley already probably being a top 3 running back in this league, or anticipated to be, then, again, wouldn't surprise me too much. And then last one, David Johnson does not meet his extreme hype, and neither do the Cardinals. To be honest, the reason why I'm skeptical around the hype of David Johnson is the Cardinals do still have a pretty deep stable of running backs, and while David Johnson is going to pretty much be the assured starter this year and look pretty good down the stretch, it looked really good down the stretch. Again, it's a very small sample size of work. I just made a bold prediction that Ezekiel Elliott will be a top 2 running back heading into next season, but David Johnson is still a guy that you can't deny that has a small sample size of work, so there's no guarantee that he'll be consistent. The NFC West is still a tremendously talented division. The Rams, I'm expecting to make a big leap this year. They still have the Seahawks in the division, so seeing the Cardinals not live up to the same hype they did, or not living up to the same billing they did last year, again, wouldn't surprise me an extraordinary amount. But anyway, that'll pretty much do it for this video. Like I said, this was just my bold predictions for the year. Just something that's fun to talk about. Like I said, nothing that most of it I don't think will actually come true. It's just stuff that if it did come true, wouldn't surprise me to an extreme degree, probably as much as it would surprise everyone else. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So yeah.